let's get started.
Barry, what's going wrong with the protection so far, and what do you guys have to do as an offensive staff to address it?
Yeah, we got to protect better, obviously, and it's never one thing. It's a combination of a bunch of stuff. And listen, we made that clear yesterday. You know, what happened Saturday was addressed, was corrected, and received very well. And that our players understand that it was a combination of events. You know, at times we protected very well. We held on the ball a little bit too long. A couple times we weren't open. I mean, it was a combination of those things. We spotted the protections out really well. We got beat physically at times. We used those corrections yesterday as a way to move forward into USC week. We've got a great challenge ahead for us, and so we've buried that and received and learned from that. And I feel positive that, you know, that learning experience and what happened will cause us and help us make some corrections that need to be corrected.
What is yesterday like for you guys as a staff together, and then with the players to make sure there's urgency but not panic?
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. We started early in the morning after a late night, and like you would expect, and got in there and watched the film together. We probably watched the film 3 different times yesterday, individually, collectively. Then we watched it again collectively, and just to go through it with a fine-tooth comb to see where things went wrong, because there was plenty of things that did go wrong, and the fact is that's there's nothing we can do about that other than learn from it. And I think our players came in with a great attitude, the coaching staff did, and hey, listen, we got to get some things tidied up again, learn from it. That's part of our history. Move forward into a homecoming week that we're excited about hosting on Saturday.
In the past, you've talked about you have to be able to run the ball and not put Luke in a lot of obvious passing situations. Is that a big part of that protection issue?
Yeah, I mean, I think we were averaging 3.8 yards on third down, so the best chance, statistically speaking, to get a first down in those moments is to probably throw the football. Now you got to be able to run the ball occasionally, and I got a lot of confidence that we could throw and get it, and we just came up short in those moments and kept getting in those situations over and over again. And everybody in the stadium knew we were throwing it, and hats off to their staff and their players, because they came after us and physically beat us sometimes, out-schemed us sometimes. Again, a collective. It was never one thing. It's never one unit. And listen, everybody was involved in that on Saturday, and we've learned from that, and we're going to use it to propel us forward.
When teams are getting the pressure they are, how do you feel like the effectiveness of some of your quick hitting, kind of short, get some of your receivers in space? How do you feel like that part of your offense is clicking?
Well, I mean, on third down, when you're 3rd and 9, short passes aren't really that great, because I mean, there's obviously you can catch and run, but your menu becomes a little bit more. So it's all tied together, right, guys? I mean, like, listen, we got to be more efficient on first down to where we have a manageable third downs, and when you do that, the advantage is a little bit more neutral. When it gets 3rd and long against teams in our league, good football teams like we played the other day, the advantage is on defense, and know it's an obvious passing situation. So we got to be more efficient on early downs.
Barry, I apologize, but I'm asking you to kind of speak for Luke, but Saturday night he kept saying over and over again, my eyes were bad.
Yeah.
For the layman, is that him looking at the rush instead of looking downfield, or is it more than that?
Yeah, in layman's terms, I would say that's probably right. Excuse me just for a second. Sorry about that. Yeah, I think, and watching the film, I would agree with that. It wasn't as good as it's been, and so they did a really nice job of disguising coverages, and just that was part of the challenge there. And so it was just kind of it was obviously a rough day for us offensively, and we go as he goes, and we've got to run the ball to help him. We got to protect him better, and we got to get him to play better.
Brett talked something about like looking at what you're asking the guys to do. Do you adjust scheme a little bit after a game like that or a result like that, or how do you sort of approach that?
Well, yeah, you have to. That's our job as coaches to correct, shift, maneuver, manipulate, tweak, whatever those things are. If something's not working, to keep doing the same thing over and over again is not overly wise. And so, we're certainly, that's something that we're addressing as we go through the week. Now, listen, some of the stuff is easily fixable, and our players are more than capable of fixing that. And our staff, putting them in a position to be able to fix some of those things. And so, it was a rough day for us. Again, that's part of our history. We've learned from that. We're going to take those corrections, those learning moments, and help propel us forward to an opponent this week that's a very challenging opponent.
And what stands out about USC? Is it like an aggressive unit, or what stands out on film?
What stands out is the athleticism on the defense. They've built a really athletic defense that's long and has got a lot of stature to them, and it's an impressive physical a bunch. And then they play within a very well coached scheme and confident in what they're doing. But I'd say that's the thing that jumps out to me is just the physical presence they have across the D line, the length that they have on the D line at all positions. They're very lengthy and very athletic.
What are you seeing from the receiver core? Are guys breaking open?
Yeah, I think so. I know so. I think our guys are playing good. Nobody played well the other night. I mean, we had some moments, and obviously Hank kind of got a little dinged up early, and we didn't do a good job getting the ball. As much as he's made an impact in the game, we didn't do a good job. Part of it we did get the ball off, but I've been pleased with those guys. We got to continue to show more, continue to progress. Just like offensively, like we got a long way to go to get where we want to get, and we got to get there in a hurry.
What specifically are those little things that you guys can do better to correct those things?
Well, I mean, you talking about from a coaching perspective?
Well, you mentioned the little things that you guys need to correct.
Yeah, I
that
mean,
are
it's
easily
just,
correctable.
it's doing your job, starting with me with more detail, right? And there's a fine line between winning and losing, and there's a fine line between winning and a gap of a score. I mean, like you go back and watch the film, there's moments, there's opportunities. If we put them in a little better position, if we execute a little bit better, then maybe we stay on the field. And we get a first down and it doesn't turn to 3rd and 7. And so it's doing your job with more detail, more attention to detail in the scheme and what I'm doing to put them in. It's a collective effort. I mean, there's one thing you can put your finger on right now. It's not clicking. It didn't click very well the other night. It's our job as coaches to get that put back on track, and I'm confident that we can.
Along the lines with your receivers, Colin, Hudson played really the vast majority of the snap. We talked about so many guys in that room, but how clear is the picture becoming in terms of that game?
Well, I mean, those are the guys that we feel like are earning the right to be out there the most. There's still some guys that playing on a rotational basis that we still trust, right? But we feel like that Colin and Hudson and Hank and those guys have kind of leveled off as being the guys on a daily basis that we feel like give us a really good chance to win, and feel confident when those other guys are in the game that they can help us win as well. But those are the guys that we're choosing to kind of start the game with right now.
Up front, does personnel decisions play into this getting it fixed at all? Are you looking at depth chart, flipping guys around, anything like that? Or?
Yeah, we're always evaluating everything every week. So, we feel good about, who we put out there. And, we've got other guys, obviously, that are waiting in the wings at all positions for an opportunity. But we're always evaluating the depth chart and seeing what we can do. This isn't our job is to put the best people out there that we think can help us win. And it doesn't get any more complicated than that.
Some of the adjustments, that you're looking at, is it about going back to what was working in the first 3 weeks, or is it new things? Does that make sense?
Oh, well, I mean, just small, subtle adjustments, maybe not even to the naked eye that would pick up on them. But listen, anytime you go through any game, you always reassess after the game. Hey, what are we doing? What are we doing well? What do we need to tweak? What do we did not like during the game? And obviously, the outcome of the game the other night, there was a bunch of those things that you don't like. And then, so it's our job to put our collective minds together with my leadership under coach's guidance to put together a plan and adjustments that we think that would be, practical to help us, that aren't new schemes or anything crazy our guys aren't familiar with, because then I've seen that go awry as well. You try to add things that guys aren't comfortable with. So we're just, at the end of the day, we just want to put our guys in the best chance they can, the best position they can be in to be successful. That's my job, and that's what we're always going to steer those decisions by.
Barry, how does Brett lead in the last 24, 36 hours? How's he approached it with you guys as a staff?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's done a great job, and he's not flinched. I mean, obviously I'm a reflection of his leadership, and as I say today, like, okay, it happened, it was part of our history, we learned from it, we corrected it, now let's move on to this week and focus on USC and take those corrections and help us propel us forward, because we've got a great opportunity on Saturday.
That's good. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Appreciate it.